We recently took our family of 7 on a vacation to Mexico. Here is a breakdown of our costs. Hey there, I'm Brittany Flammer, a certified financial coach with videos all about budgeting and money saving tips for you and your family. Last year, we lost about $7,000 in flights and travel expenses because our passports did not arrive in time, even though they were expedited. So this year we wanted to stick to a much lower budget, but we still wanted to go somewhere Spanish speaking for our daughter to practice Spanish. We still wanted to at least experience a little bit of culture, but we wanted to keep costs down, so we wanted to be able to drive. We ended up going to Rosarito, Mexico. We were there 5 days, 4 nights. Here's a breakdown of the different costs. Lodging was our largest expense at $904. Now, we are a family of 7, so in order to fit into a hotel, we usually have to get 2 hotel rooms, and that can get pretty pricey. So we typically use Airbnb, and that's what we did on this trip. We were able to get an entire house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. We had a lot of room. There was a table for eating, coffee table. We were able to, there was a living room. We had room to play games and just relax. We had a lot more space than we would in a hotel room. So our Airbnb was cheaper than it would have cost to get a hotel near where we stayed. But another way we save a lot of money is because we have a kitchen. So we don't have to eat out every meal. We can have some of our own food. Also, there was a washer and dryer. So we were able to go home with clean clothes. So I didn't have to do a ton of laundry when we got home. I could have gotten a cheaper Airbnb. I looked around, found a couple that met our needs, let our kids choose between them. Of course, they went with the most expensive, but this literally had a sliding door that literally walked out to the beach. So it was beachfront and there was access to a pool right next door. Next most expensive thing was gas. We spent $211 on gas. Now, before any trip, I like to use Gas Buddy. I'll go to their website. This doesn't work in the app, but on their website, they have a plan your trip feature. So you can type in the make and model of your vehicle, where you're starting, where you're stopping, and it will calculate exactly how much you're going to spend on gas and where you should stop for the cheapest. Now, it does not do international, it's only US, so I just plugged in, I think, San Diego to get an idea of how much we would spend in gas. So I did that before we left, and it was pretty close. It's not exact, but pretty accurate. I like to do this when I'm planning for a vacation. I like to use a spreadsheet to keep track of my expenses to figure out how much it's going to cost us. You can grab that template. I'll put a link in the description box below if you're interested in that. That's what I used to plan for the vacation, and that's how I used to track it while we were on vacation. Next cost was groceries, but I feel like this should be more labeled groceries and stuff. We spent $178.51 on groceries and stuff. Now, I like to prepare my own food. So usually when we go on road trips, I prepare a lot of food in advance and we take lots of snacks with us. We were not going straight from home. We were at a family reunion for a few days before we left, so we didn't leave from home. And it is a 13-ish, 14-hour drive. So I did not prepare as much food as I normally would. I still took some non-perishable stuff, and I did plan out some meals. But we had to go to the store to buy groceries, to plan food. And also, I just didn't do as good of a job preparing as I normally do. I knew there was a washer and dryer. I meant to take a little bit of laundry soap. I forgot. So we had to buy laundry soap. So at the grocery store, we bought not just groceries, but miscellaneous extra stuff. So had I prepared, we could have spent a lot less, but it is what it is. And that's part of the fun, was experiencing the grocery store in another country and walking through. We bought more than we would have, but it was okay. Next up, eating out. We spent $47.30 eating out. Now, I mentioned we had a kitchen, so we did have a lot of our food. Our breakfast we ate at our Airbnb, and then usually we'd spend the day on the beach. Usually we'd come in for lunch, or we would take sandwiches with us. So we bought all the stuff for breakfast and lunch. Dinner, we ate dinner at our place once or twice. We did eat out. This is a restaurant eating out. We also did some street food, some churros. Next up was cash. We spent $83.13. We withdrew some cash, so we'd have local currency. Basically, we each gave our kids a few pesos so they could do whatever they want with it, buy whatever souvenirs. That was really fun at the market to see them perusing and trying to haggle. That was pretty fun. So they got their souvenirs. We also, some of that street food I mentioned earlier, we bought with the cash that we had. Next up, we paid for car insurance. We paid $53.50 for car insurance, specifically in Mexico. We could have gotten it cheaper, but this covered replacement for a theft. So we did that. I don't know. I've never done that for another country before. We were recommended. That's what we did. We paid for it. We didn't use it, thankfully, but that's how much we paid for it. Next up was our activities, and we did not spend a single dollar on activities. We spent almost every day, all day, every day at the beach. We swam every day. It was lots of fun playing in the waves. Kids had a blast. We took a lot of things with us. We took a boogie board, we took some snorkeling gear, we took a few tubes, we did take a paddle board. So we took some supplies with us we already had on hand. We used them almost every day. We built sandcastles. Our kids literally dug for hours every day in the sand, digging ravines and tunnels and castles for hours. We had lots of fun looking for starfish and looking for seashells, walking along the beach. We swam in the swimming pool next door, got in the jacuzzi next door, did more swimming in the beach. We also went on a hike. We drove around town. We got to see some rural Rosarito, Mexico. We found a local playground. We walked through the markets several times. Our kids had a lot of fun doing that. We just walked around town, seeing some of the culture, interacting with some of the people. We had allocated some money for a boat tour or chartering a boat to take us some places to go snorkeling. We ended up not doing it. The day we were going to do it ended up being really cold, and the shop was closed the day before, so we didn't plan it and pay for it. So we ended up not doing that. We just spent the day on the beach, and that was okay. We had fun. Still had fun at the ocean. That vacation template you can grab right up here. Otherwise, if you want to see how I do my budgeting to plan for expenses like vacations, check out our sinking fund. We'll have that video playing right over here somewhere. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.